These are the insights I've learned from working with top 1% CEOs. Insights you can't get anywhere else. I have built, scaled, sold companies worth $40 billion. And I've found that success isn't random. This is how you succeed. My first win in business came right after the world was supposed to end, the year 2000. We had a $1 billion IPO because no one thought of doing what we were doing. The whole world was panicking because of the Y2K bug.
This is not one of the summer movies where you can close your eyes during the scary parts.
Companies were racing to India to find cheap engineers. But we saw a complete different opportunity and bet the farm on it. Instead of chasing the outsourcing business that helps reduce IT costs, we help startups build products using the same global models. So we didn't sell cheap labor, we sold speed of execution. That shift changed everything. So my first lesson, the fastest way to win is to play a different game. Everyone wanted to go after the Fortune 500 companies. We chased the non-customers, the nimble startups that are desperate for speed of execution. So don't follow others, write your own playbook. Second lesson, the moment you start competing on price, you've already lost. We were never the lowest cost provider. We decided to be the iPhone in the world of Android clones. Race to the top, not to the bottom. And the third lesson, watch out for your environment. We were this close to going public. S1 was drafted, roadshow was scheduled, but the market reeked of fear. Investors were panicking, so we made the hardest call, pause the IPO. And next quarter, the market crashed, lost $5 trillion. We waited for 18 months for market to rebound and became a $1 billion IPO. And that's the irony. We sold speed to everyone, but we won by slowing down. The next win is about the most important rule in business, pivot or perish. My second win came in the era of online search. The internet was exploding. It was all brand new. So many search companies hustling to win eyeballs. And our company had the largest search index and the fastest crawlers. Others took days to find new pages. We could do that in hours. For a while, we were the coolest kids on the block. And then Google changed the game. PageRank algorithm, auction-based pricing, relentless experimentation. The entire world started Googling. When was the last time you Microsofted anything? That was the power of Google, and fighting them head-on was impossible. So we pivoted. We sold our consumer search business that eventually ended up with Yahoo and shifted to the new battlefield, enterprise search, helping large corporations find information from their data. So 2 lessons here. First, giants are like 18-wheelers, slow to turn, full of blind spots. Find what they can't see and own that niche completely. Here's my 10% rule. Let's say a $1 trillion company exists and dominates your industry. In the shadow of that company, there is a $100 billion opportunity. And inside that shadow, a $10 billion play. All of those guys are waiting to be taken. It's like the Russian nesting doll, each layer hiding a fortune. Find it. And second lesson, the best exits happen when your strategic buyer has an urgent fire. When Google became the gateway to the internet, Microsoft saw the writing on the wall. It was an obvious threat, and they needed a weapon to defend their enterprise turf. We gave them that weapon. Microsoft bought us for $1.2 billion. The third story, you've gotta drag that dinosaur into the digital age before it goes extinct. Our multi-billion dollar IPO was about turning content into algorithms before anyone knew how. Traditional media was and is a brachiosaurus, clumsy, lumbering, bleeding from the rise of the internet. We flipped the script. Our system valued each search like a stock. We were pricing content before it was even written. Our content engine generated thousands of articles a month, each mapped to search demand. The result? One of the first multi-billion dollar media tech IPO after the 2008 crash. So here's lesson number 1. The fastest way to scale? Buy, don't build. Roll-ups can accelerate your growth if you know what to buy and how to integrate. We bought websites, plugged them onto our platform, and turned each one into a traffic engine, lifting the entire content network. Lesson number 2. The biggest wins are often in the most boring industries. I know companies today applying AI to Medicare, to trucking, to home appliances, to claims processing, and they're all crushing it. The best way to disrupt the old industry is to teach it new tricks, right? Next up, wartime leadership. No sleep, no time, no room for mistakes. I was fortunate to be the CEO of one of the 20 fastest growing companies in the US. We couldn't hire fast enough. We couldn't build fast enough. We couldn't scale fast enough. Every day was a race against time. When you are a wartime leader, every decision gets made in that fog of war. You make some mistakes, you make some good decisions, but you keep going. Fortunately, I had terrific founders and a great team. That led us to a great exit, and I learned 3 lessons, all about the 3 tightropes that a leader has to walk. First, gladiator versus gardener. Gladiators fight. Gardeners grow. On any given Monday, you may have to cut through the noise and BS and push the team toward action. And they may not like you for that. And on any given Tuesday, you may have to nurture the team. Keep them inspired, keep them focused, tell them to slow down. They may even love you for it. The real skill is to know when to switch. The second tightrope, autonomy versus accountability. Give your team enough room to experiment, but set some guardrails. Too much freedom leads to chaos. Too much control, and you're surrounded by drones. The best teams thrive when they have just enough structure to run fast. And the third tightrope you have to walk is paranoia versus paralysis. As a leader, you have to game the worst case scenarios, right? Build safety net and execute like there is no plan B. Healthy paranoia keeps you prepared, but remember that it can also cause paralysis, and that can kill your company. So your job is to constantly stay on these tightropes. The days you don't fall are great days. And now for my 5th and favorite win, Luke Skywalker versus the Death Star. If you love Star Wars, you already know the playbook on how to win against giants. When I joined this company, we were already public. Our challenge was that our advertising platform was directly going up against Google. I know Google shows up everywhere in my stories, but the odds weren't just bad, they were impossible. But here's the thing, every Death Star has a tunnel, a single weak spot. Find it and you can change everything. So here's the lesson. Large incumbents always have critics. Make them your enemy number 1. Because then you can be that David to their Goliath. You can stand for principles that the larger competitor cannot. For instance, we were standing up for objectivity and independence in areas where Google had a direct conflict of interest. So this playbook works wonderfully. Salesforce versus Oracle, Spotify versus Apple, Netflix versus Blockbuster, Tesla versus auto industry. This strategy works every single time. The second lesson, when you see an earthquake coming, do not hesitate. Every industry has these seismic shifts. Client server to internet, internet to search, search to social media to mobile, mobile to cloud computing. These massive shifts create a small window of opportunity for entrepreneurs. But if you blink, you'll miss it. In our case, it was the rise of the streaming platforms during and after COVID, and we pounced on it like a hungry tiger, and our stock went up 300%. So here's what I'm gonna leave you with. What do you think the next earthquake is going to be about? It's already here. It's the AI earthquake, perhaps the biggest one ever in our lifetime. The winners aren't hesitating. They are moving fast. Are you? So if you're ready to take on this next earthquake head on and start something brand new, check out my video on the best AI businesses you can start this year. Businesses that AI cannot destroy. Thank you, and I love you.